Hey ladies and gents, so I'm not gonna ramble, I'm gonna get right to it. So we're gonna talk about doing full coverage using affordable concealer. So all of them are not exactly at the drugstore because some of them I purchase online, but I will put the link below. My eyelash is doing things. I will put the link below to the concealers that are not in the drugstore, but they are $7. So everything is affordable. They used to be in Ulta, but they don't sell them in Ulta anymore. You have to purchase them online. So let's get right into it. What I decided to do is I think I'm going to do one side just to show you, probably this side because I have more spots over here. So I'm going to do this side. I'm going to show you the products that I use, the coverage, and then you can see, you know, leave this side. So let's start. So the very first thing that I do, I'm going to show you two alternatives because this is in the drugstore. So you can use the e.l.f. Okay, rewind. So what I like to put first is a concealer that has a reddish tone. So if you are a brown girl, black girl like me, and you have dark spots and you're around my tone, put on a reddish looking concealer. Instead of doing like the red spot treatments, you're going to do a reddish concealer. So for me, this is e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in Deep Cinnamon. And then the alternative that I really like is Colourpop No Filter Concealer in Deep 50. Either one, but I do like to use the Colourpop one. And this is the one that you have to get online. So the very first thing that I do is I take this concealer and I put it under my eyes. I forgot to get my mirror. And then I put it on any dark spots that I have. And you can let it sit for a moment, but the purposes of the video, I'm not going to do that. So then that's that. You would use this to do the same thing. And then from there, I'm going to take a damp sponge. This is the e.l.f. sponge. You can use whatever sponge you have. And you're gonna blend it in. Make sure to blend well. And what I will say is that I don't put any of this concealer on my forehead. I have the concealer on my forehead from when I did my eyebrows, and that's it. So already you can see, you see that side, dark spots should be mostly covered. So then I go in with a brightening concealer. And this is going to be Colourpop No Filter Concealer in Dark 40. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this under my eye. And really the main spot is under my eye that I care about. Sometimes I will put it right here and on my nose. Same procedure. You can let this dry down a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and blend for the purpose of the video. Okay, so at this point, you have two options. If you like to use foundation, this is the point where you would use foundation, because sometimes with the reddish concealer, it can leave a reddish tone on your skin. Or you can go with a concealer that is skin tone and put it in the areas where you feel like there's redness or you see any dark spots peeking out. So you have those two options. So what I'm gonna do, and sometimes I'm done at this point because it doesn't bother me. But for the purpose of the video, I'm going to do a skin tone concealer just to kill some of the redness. So I'm gonna use Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define. So you're gonna take this concealer and put it more so in this area. You can just bring whatever you have, just bring it down. Okay, so 2 additional steps. So the first step we'll do is we're going to use a really light concealer. So this is e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, and this is Fair Warm. And we're gonna put it just literally in the corner of our eye. And you can let that sit for a minute, and while they're sitting, we're gonna go in with the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Concealer. That concealer, this is Deep Dark 190 Warm, and I'm gonna use this as a contour. And I like this because it does have a little bit of a red tone, but it's not too strong. It's like a good brown color. And then for whatever reason, I like to use a brush with this. So I have a flat foundation brush. It is from Shop Missy. And just pretty much keep it in the same spot where I placed it. I love when it touches the temple. It's like, ooh. And then blend it into your hairline. Then you go in and do the concealer. So it wouldn't be right if the camera doesn't die in the middle of you recording. So like I was saying, you're gonna blend in this concealer and try your best to keep it in the corner. And then there's just like a lot of back and forth with the beauty blender. Well, it's not a beauty blender, but a sponge. Just making sure everything is blended. And that's it, guys, before the powder. So it might look a little bright, but when I put the powder in, it will blend everything in. So that is this side, just concealer, no foundation. And then this is the other side. Let's go ahead and do the powder. Nothing too much to the powder. I like to use my damp sponge and do the powder. We'll skip the nose. And then you go in with the contour palette. I'm going to use Juvia's Place contour palette and put it in the same place that I contoured. And I am not a baker. That's not funny. So I go in and I use that damp sponge to press in the powder. And if you ever have any lines of the powder, you can go in with a powder that's the same as your skin tone to alleviate any, harsh look from the powder. And then also know that you can get rid of the powder look once you do your setting spray. So that's it. Like, look at that. That's it right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side off camera, and then I'll come back and show you the whole look together. But look at that. So you see. Okay, so here is the finished look. I did the other side. So they match now, and you cannot tell me that. I hope that was easy. I know I used several concealers, but I didn't use a lot of them if you look very closely. And I feel like it was easy to follow. And this is just, and it's not to say like just because you're using concealer, it's better than using foundation. But sometimes with foundation, people want it to be like a go-to, and like when they put it on, they want everything to get the look that different color concealers give. So this is an alternative to doing foundation, but still getting that different color look that you're looking for, if that makes sense. Like brightness here, regular skin tone here, and a little bit of contour. So let me know if you guys have any questions, and do not forget my new phrase, a good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is your better and your better is the best. And I will see you guys next time.